What is up, YouTube? It's BraxtonComix here, and I'm coming at you guys with another deck profile for August of 2015. This time, it's going to be Ultra Athletes. This is an archetype that I've been kind of suspect about for a while, and with the support from Cross Souls, and unfortunately none from Clash of Rebellion, this deck can stand up pretty well against the current meta, and it's really budget if you're looking for a budget deck. This archetype is really cheap if you're looking for something relatively competitive to play. So, if you're looking for something cheap and budget, UAs are your way to go. So I'm going to go through my list. I'm sure you guys have seen some better versions of it, but this is my variety, and I think it works pretty decently. So, I'm going to start off with the main guy, which is 3 copies of UA Midfielder. This guy is kind of your, I guess, MVP monster, because if you don't draw into him, or any of the searchers, which we use to find him in the deck, you can probably assure your loss. But in all fairness, he's one of your best guys simply because he's a level 4. Everybody else is really high level for some reason, but whatever. If we had another level 4 UA monster, this thing would be a lot more equal. Not midfielder itself, but the whole deck. Next up, 2 copies of UA Perfect Ace. This guy is cool. Because once returned during your opponent's turn, when a card or effect is activated, you can discard 1 card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. And it's a quick effect, so you can definitely use some good monster speed with this guy. He's a 2500 defense, which is really nice, so you definitely should look up what he can do. Also, his name in German is Perfect Ass, and we all like a good ass, don't we? Ha! Next up, 2 copies of Mighty Slugger, which I only have 1 of at the moment, but I'm getting another couple of copies in the mail pretty soon. Mighty Slugger is your Armades for the deck. And you don't need to synchro summon him, so that's really fun. He's a 23 beater just like Armades, he's a level 5 just like Armades. He's basically this generation's Armades, and that's really nice. Next up, 2 copies of UA Rival Rebounder. This guy's cool, because if this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, or normal summoned, you can special summon a UA monster from your hand or graveyard except himself, and you can only use the effect once per turn. That's pretty cool because you can build up your defenses again if he's successfully summoned during your opponent's turn. Which, in retrospect, I don't see happening too often, but he's really cool because he's a 23 defense and a 22 offense, so I really can't complain about him. This next guy is probably my favorite of all the UAs, and that is 2 copies of Dreadnought Dunker. This guy is cool because, one thing, he inflicts piercing battle damage. Amazing. Once he inflicts any battle damage, he gets to pop a card on the field. Even better. So, in all honesty, this is kind of the boss monster for the deck, simply because of the flexibility he has to pop cards and inflict battle damage, and piercing damage at that. Next up, this is the last UA I play, and some people might argue my choice in numbers of this card, but I play 2 copies of Blockbacker. The reason I play 2 Blockbacker is basically because I like seeing it more often, and the fact that I can see him more often if I play 2, I like. He is a lose 1 turn, and he is a 27 defense, which is really nice. The fact that you can play him at whatever number you want is good, but I like 2 because I like to see him more often. 1 is okay, but the fact that I can't see him all the time, and the fact that he can be threatened by Bottomless Trap Hole or other traps like that, it scares me, in all honesty. And what also scares me, double Heroics Challenger Assault Halberd. Again, this is prone to Bottomless Trap Hole and things like that. I prefer it over Spell Striker because we can just special summon him. We don't have to get rid of anything in order to special summon him, which is good. That's something I really don't like doing, is getting rid of something for something. So Assault Halberd is kind of my favorite guy to go for. We contribute him off for all of our UAs, so Assault Halberd is definitely one to play. Next up for the spells, Raigeki, Book of Moon for our one-ofs. I'm not too sure how big of a fan I am of Book of Moon in this deck, but Raigeki I'm a fan of in anything. Next up, 2 copies of Terraforming to search out our UA Stadium, which I'll get to later on. And then double Reinforcement of the Army to cut through the deck, thin it out as much as possible. I only play 2 because I only play 5 targets for it. And if we had more targets than 5 or 6, I would play 3. Next up, 3 copies of Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin is just, again, there to help speed through the deck. Next up, 2 copies of the Monarch Stormforth. Amazing. I can't say much else about it. I don't use it the most often, but that's only because I don't play the UAs too much, but I really enjoy them whenever I get the chance to. There's another deck that I'm playing right now, which I can't wait to bring you guys in the deck profile, but I'm still missing some of the cards because they're in Clash of Rebellions. So they'll come up. The deck will come up pretty soon. I swear. Next up, 3 copies of UA Signing Deal. This is kind of your soul charge for the deck, because it allows you to special summon any UA monster you want from the deck at the cost of life points multiplied by their level times 300. So that's pretty good, and this thing is even better because you can activate it even if you have a monster on the field. So UA Signing Deal, definitely one to play. 2 copies of Power Jersey. Would you believe me if I told you this is the only UA card that I have that's unlimited? Everything else is first ed. Power Jersey is amazing when it's combined with the Dreadnought Dunker, because the Dreadnought Dunker will gain 1,000 attack from this card, and whenever it inflicts any battle damage, if it battles an opponent's monster, the battle damage is doubled. And when we consider the math, let's see. Okay, Dreadnought Dunker is a 2,500 beater. This thing gives it 1,000 attack. That's 35 right there. And then when combined with one of our 3 UA Stadium, that makes him 4,000 attack, which is something not too easy to get over. I mean, sure, it can get Castelled, Raigeki, that kind of thing, but in terms of battle, it's hard to get over. So Power Jersey is definitely one to play it at 2. I only like it at 2. You don't really need any more than that, because we really rely just solely on UA Stadium and Signing Deal. Stadium, if a UA monster is normal summon to your side of the field, you can add a UA monster from your deck to your hand. So if you summon the midfielder, you can basically go for any of your other search targets in the deck, which is really good if you don't have any other monsters at hand that you can really summon. And whenever a UA monster is special summoned to your side of the field, all monsters you control gain 500 attack, as I said with Dreadnought Dunker. So Stadium is amazing, straight up. So that's it for these spells. For the traps, 3 copies of UA Penalty Box. Penalty Box is good for both of its effects, honestly. Some people don't really use it for its first effect, which banishes out a battling monster for 2 turns if an opponent's monster battles one of your UAs. I mean, that's a 2-turn delay in when they can get their monster back. So that can leave them vulnerable a little bit, but not as much as some people would like for it. The other effect is that if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish it and add a UA spell card from your deck to your hand, which can basically recycle your Signing Deal, your Power Jersey, or even your Stadium if you absolutely need to. So that's really good. Both effects are very nice, and I have no complaints over the card in general. Actually, just because it's a hockey card, I wish we could get one of our hockey monsters just to go along with it, you know? And then finally, 3 copies of Venus Chain and Torrential Tribute. Torrential Tribute in here just because I like watching my opponents swarm and just sitting on this. They may think I might have like a Bottomless Trap Hole or something else, but if my opponent can overextend enough, this thing is amazing. And plus, we can redeem ourselves from this pretty easily with all the other spells and traps that we have at our disposal. So it's a really, really good deck. And Torrential Tribute has always been one of the best trap cards out there. I wish it'd come to 2. But that's for another video. Anyway, guys, that's it for the deck profile. You don't really need an extra deck because you never really need to go for anything in there. Everything you need is in the main deck. Simple as that. But that is it for my UA deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please like this video to show your support. Subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below on your thoughts for my UA deck profile. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm BraxtonComix, signing out.